Well, hello, my filmmaking friends, and welcome to Filmed in Florence, Oregon. That's right, we are not in Utah right now, but that's okay. I still talk to all the filmmakers in Utah instead. We're just on vacation because, well, we deserved a little break. So we're having a great time, but we want to tell you a little bit about what's happening on today's show. First, we got Alex Watson, who's talking about his hit TV show. Well, I guess it's online, so it's a web show called You, Me, and Him. So you got to take a look at this new web series. It's a lot of fun. Also, are you a woman and are you into film? Well, then you should be in the Utah Women in Film group. And Susan's on the set, and she's going to be talking a little bit about what they do. So if you want to find out some excellent filmmaking opportunities, join them. Plus, we have some more great filmmakers and some more contests. It's all coming up on Filmed in Utah. Now, Alex Watson's here with me, and he's going to talk to me a little bit about his production company, but he has a couple films that he's kind of bragging about today, which is kind of cool. The first one won at the Comedy Film Festival. That was just a few months back, and he also was at the Salt Lake Film Festival, and he's got a web series out. Tons of cool things. Talk to me about everything that's been happening.
Well, like I said, I'm representing JWAP Productions. I'm the co-owner of 3 other people.
You own people. Nice.
No, well, yes, per se, actors. But basically, we've been doing really good. We entered our first film festival, which was the Comedy Festival, and we won that, which was Party Pooper, which basically featured a guy who's maybe a germaphobe or whatever, and he tries to go to the restroom, just like we all do, but gets invaded by dancers. And so it was really fun to film, and obviously won that. Also, we just
obviously he won that. Yes, of course we won. Why wouldn't we have?
The idea is just brilliant. No. But then we also got this awesome documentary that we made called "I Dance You Smile," which is about a guy I saw on the side of the road who dances just for smiles. And
now I saw that, and I liked that a lot. I think I even commented up here on the Facebook thing. And I'll tell him what it's about because I did watch this.
Awesome.
This guy just goes out and he's just not for money or anything. He goes out to the side of the street. He has a little beatbox next to him, and he's just dancing around. And eventually, other people started getting inspired, and they all come and dance around with him.
Yeah.
And they're having a good old time, and everyone starts smiling.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we wanted to portray in that documentary. Really, is that we got to do more things to make people smile. Like that's all the payment we need sometimes.
Well, I loved it because, as I said, I watched it and I shared it with a whole bunch of people. I think I even wrote up a big article on it. So if you haven't seen filmedinutah.com, go back there. You'll see the article I wrote on I Dance You Smile. Now, let's talk about your web series.
Yes, definitely. You, Me, and Him, which is coming out end of July. You can check out the trailer. It has its own channel, You, Me, and Him Show, just one word. And it's going to be a sweet, funny comedy, just about 3 guys living in an apartment where weird shenanigans happens, and it's a musical, so that's what's going to be the fun thing about it. We have the first song, and then this new episode that's going to come out is going to have a Friend Zone song. So it's something definitely you need to check out, and that'll be at the end of July.
Now, just keeping in mind, if you take a look at the web series that Alex is talking about, listen to the lyrics, because at the very end, he has a pretty little fun thing. He says, we like to wear leather, we eat and sleep together. And they're like, wait a minute, I like girls. Just to clarify, what kind of show it is. It's not that risque. Again, it is shot in Utah, and we have certain laws.
Right, definitely.
So where can people find out more about your production company?
Well, you can go to www.jwapproductions.com. Just look it up on YouTube, or just JWAP Productions. And we make music videos, we make corporate videos, we make everything. And mostly we're trying to make people laugh. And this You, Me, and Him hopefully will feature a lot of local comedians as well as some improvisers. So it's definitely something everyone needs to check out and to subscribe to.
I agree. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and show a clip right now.
Ooh. Excuse me. Could you just wait a minute?
We're really going to do this, aren't we? I mean, we always talked about it, but I never thought we'd actually do it.
Oh, yeah.
All the trouble, all the girls,
Listen, can we just go? Yeah, right.
I'm ready. You ready, Rob?
Oh, I am so ready. Hayden, are you ready yet? You're taking forever. Yeah.
Let's do this.
You, me, and him. There are no losers, it's always a win on you, me, and him. Well, if you need sugar or a late night fix, then look no further than a door number 6. It's never too early and it's never too late. If you stop by, bring a girl, that would be great. We moved out on our own, but together we're at home on you, me, and him. We're obsessed with leather, we eat, drink, and sleep together on you. I mean, I like girls. If you are a lone girl looking real fine, come on, hop in the hot tub. We'll show you a good time on you, me, and him. This place is a factory and love we produce, but we ain't like your boyfriend El Capitan douche on you, me, and him. Yeah, baby.
You, Me, and Him, a new sitcom coming this July. So outstanding that you'd actually be able to withstand a roundhouse kick to the face twice.
Tired of all those books that are piling up? Then get rid of those stacks and pick up the Dédicaces ebook reader. With it, you'll get 300 classic books, 25 audiobooks, 10 pieces of music, and 2 audio conferences. The Dédicaces ebook reader allows you to download hundreds of books from the internet and read them wherever and whenever you want. View videos, photos, and listen to your favorite music. Get a bonus leather carrying case with purchase. The Dédicaces ebook reader for optimal reading comfort.
Susan's here, and she's kind of going to tell us a little bit about what's happening with the Utah Women in Film, talking about some of the events that are happening, some of the cool things that are happening, even some of the misconceptions we're going to clear out so that everyone has a very clear understanding what the Utah Women in Film do, who they are, and why you should support them. So, Susan, first off, thank you for being on here again. We haven't really had you on the show since the LDS Film Festival, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. It was back in January, which was a great festival. And but I would want to talk to you about Utah Women in Film. Tell me what's going on over there.
We have plenty going on. We just finished our screenwriting competition, and the winners will, if you look on utahwomeninfilm.com, you will be able to find, well, we won't post the winners until our August meeting, but you'll be able to find information on the August meeting and the winners there. And we are actually filming last year's winner, Dandelions, written by Stephanie Fowers, and we're filming that the last bit of July. So hopefully that'll be out this year. We're excited for that.
I hope so too. We'll have to, if it does come out, we'll need to make sure Stephanie comes on the show so we can talk more about that film, because one of my focuses is I love to focus on female filmmakers, mostly screenwriters and directors, because these are positions that you normally see taken by men. Mm-hmm. And what have you found is that biggest statistic as far as the gap between female and male filmmakers?
Oh, it's an amazing gap. In film school, it's about 50-50, male and female. But when you get into the industry, oh, it's incredible. It's maybe 2% DPs,
wow.
About 7% directors. The highest percent is producers, and producers is about 20% female. So that's what we want to do at Utah Women in Film, is help bring those numbers up, because we need to tell women's stories as well.
Why do you think those numbers are so skewed right now, so that we see such a depravity in those statistics?
You know, I think that there's several reasons. I think one of the reasons is that in filmmaking, you work with the people you've worked with before.
Right.
And so you kind of stay in that same loop of people. And if it hasn't included women in the past, it's kind of hard to break into it.
Right.
I think another reason is a misconception, well, sometimes a conception that's true, but often a misconception that a woman on the set is going to be disruptive, or she's going to have to go take care of her kids, or she's going to say that sexual harassment is going on, that kind of a thing. And actually that is one of the classes that we had. Our only women-only class we had was on professionalism and sexual harassment, and just to help women understand this is what you do on set when there is a problem, and understanding that the set is a different kind of an animal, and
Right.
you know, you just basically need to say, hey, you know, that's not acceptable.
Right, because being on a set, I mean, you've been on plenty of film sets, but if you haven't been on a film set before, it's not like an office job.
No.
You don't clock in at 9 o'clock and you leave at 5 o'clock and you have a specific task you do all day and that's it. On a film set, you're asked to do lots of things. You're being moved out of your comfort zone on a 15-minute basis. Everything is different. And that's something that changes a lot. So I'm curious, you know, my wife is fantastic. She produces these shows. So I couldn't do Filmed in Utah without her. So this Filmed in Utah really is a 50-50 split as far as how it's produced. But what do you think some of the value would be if more crews saw a larger increase of female crew members? Oh, hold on, that fly's getting nuts. Okay, female crew members in key positions.
Well, I think for one thing, sets that have women on them, it just seems to have a little softer atmosphere and not less efficient, but just they work together very well in the sets that I have seen with a number of women. And you need that women viewpoint. Lots of times, for example, if you have a scriptwriter that's a man, and then you have a director that it's a man, and a producer that's a man, and
it's
then
a movie about women.
and it's a movie about women, or even just women characters, it
Right.
can be hard to get some of those nuances
Right.
of the women. And if you've got a woman there that says, hey, wait a second, you know, it's really not like that. Why don't you just make this little change? You know, and if you've got some women there to see that, you're going to improve your film.
Absolutely. Now there's this perception, and I've heard it, you know, through the internet, but there's this perception going around that Utah Women in Film is only for the women in Utah, and that men are not welcome. We hate men. Bah! I know that's not true, but can you kind of give a viewpoint of what's the standard for Utah Women in Film as their position regarding men attending, say, classes?
We are not men haters at all. We love men, and they are welcome at just about every activity we have. As a matter of fact, I said that we've only had one class that was women only. Men are welcome at our schmoozes. They're welcome to almost all of our classes. Just about everything we do. They cannot be members, but that doesn't mean you can't still participate and enjoy. We want to build the entire film community in Utah, because if we just build the women, we're not trying to step on the men to build the women. We want to pull everybody up, but do it from a woman's perspective.
And I think that's very valuable. One of the things that I've noticed, and I'm going to take us back to what you were talking about earlier, when you're working on a set that's 90% male, and you're talking about women characters, your screenwriter is written as a man. How can he really get the voice of a woman into that script? How can he really get into a woman's head unless he's really in touch with his feminine side and is a fantastic writer? But still, you still need that authenticity, I believe. And I see that around the whole thing. You also recently, the Utah Women in Film, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a short film that was either probably almost the entire cast and crew was all women, or it was completely all women except for like maybe one character?
Tanya Gren did a film a few months ago that was an entire female crew, and she was so excited, and I think she just had a male character in it, and everything else was female. And she just said it was the neatest experience for her, and she was so excited that she could find women that could fill those roles and do a great job.
Well, let's go ahead and make sure everyone knows how to get a hold of Utah Women in Film. Where can they go to find more information and about the activities and events and what you guys are all about?
You can go to utahwomeninfilm.com. We have a website there. Excuse me. You can go to utahwomeninfilm.com.
They have a website there.
We have a website there.
And all the information to get a hold of you guys to
Yes.
find out everything about it.
That's all there.
If we have young women that are wanting to become members, that information's there as well.
Yes, and you can also look on Facebook. We have both a group page and a like page. We're pretty easy to find.
Fantastic. Susan, thanks for coming. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to more filmmakers in this fantastic state. You're watching Filmed in Utah. I'd like to take just a moment to say thank you to all those that support Filmed in Utah. It's through your efforts as filmmakers or support services that help keep this show going. I'd really like to thank all those that have been able to help Filmed in Utah financially. Without your support, we wouldn't even be able to get to the locations where these filmmakers are filming at. So once again, thank you so much for your support in Filmed in Utah. If you would like information on becoming a sponsor, you can find that at filmedinutah.com.
Funny story, actually. My boyfriend at the time and we got lost in a bad part of LA off of the 105, and he told me we needed to pull over and fill the tank with gas. So we exited the freeway and he pulled over onto a side street, got out of the car and hopped into a car that was there waiting for him, and then he just took off.
Advertising on Filmed in Utah is the affordable way to get your message out to thousands of local residents. Come see what affordable advertising options we have waiting for you on our website, filmedinutah.com.
They consider Rod's people?
No, Percy. These folk got demons in them. That's why we shoot them with bullets.
Demons? Back up, Mark. We're gonna be rich.
Get back here, you half-brained twit. I said demons, not diamonds. Demons that rode rocks down from the sky. Start possessing people left and right. Next thing you know, the whole town started to rock. The Indians, they call them the Stargazers. We We just call them rots.
Welcome back to Filmed in Utah. I've got Jared Seach here with me, and we're going to be talking about some of the cool little films that he's been making, including one down in Kanab, which was a fun little Western. Talk to me about that film. What was it? Bloodshot
Rots.
Bloodshot Rots. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that film.
So Bloodshot Rots was originally prepared to be a 48-hour film, down there in Kanab. And they opened up, or the event opened up all of the old sets from like the 1950s, 1960s. And we went down there with the intent of doing something supernatural. So when we got the category of out of this world, we're like, let's do zombies. We had Sean Gordon.
Oh no, not zombies! No.
I know it's way overdone, but I figured it was in a cool genre. Let's see if we can compete with Cowboys and Aliens. What's going on? But we had Sean Gordon out there. He's a great makeup artist. He got everybody in the chair, and we got on these sets, and they're so old that everything was like collapsing into itself. Everything was rotten and weathered, so it was perfect for what we were trying to do. And it was a lot of fun. One of the sets that we filmed on was from a show called Gunsmoke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was one of the first TV shows that got Harrison Ford into the business. He came out here and he shot a couple episodes out there, and it was a blast. We had to jump a couple fences to get out there, but
well, see, that's something that a lot of people may forget. They see things like Pirates of the Caribbean, and they see a lot of these newer films being shot in the States, including The Lone Ranger, which has been out here for a while, or even Will Smith's After Earth. But they forget that Utah was originally the main home for Westerns. Oh, yeah. You see a lot of those John Wayne movies, and you see Gunsmoke was filmed here a lot. It's films like that kind of really established Utah as being the Hollywood of the West. Now, what are your goals as an independent filmmaker, especially here in the state? Some people may say Utah is kind of limited, but have you found that to really be a struggle as a filmmaker, making films here in Utah?
It depends on the way you approach it, I suppose. I mean, there's a lot of hidden gems in Utah. There's a lot of opportunities to work as long as you're willing to go out and look for it. My goals is, I would love to keep doing short films, maybe break into the industry of, like live action video game trailers, something that's, short film related. And I've gotten some good opportunities out here. So you know what? I think the opportunity is in Utah, as long as you're willing to, dig under a few rocks and see what you can find.
Right, and that's the other thing that's interesting. A lot of people will go into this film industry thinking that, almost like the world owes them a favor, but you have to put in the work. I mean, that's one of the things. You'll see this with a lot of great filmmakers in the state, though, is they understand that no one's going to get a free ride here.
No,
not
at all.
You've got to work hard, and because we're not in a place that is so busy in films like LA or New York, we are constantly working. And so have you noticed that, have you ever worked with any other crews outside of Utah, though, first off?
I've gone to one crew out in LA, and it was just for the Spike TV show awards and stuff like that. And so it was kind of a limited experience. But, it's a lot more hostile than the Utah crews I've found. But, it really shows me that the Utah crews know what they're doing. They've been in the industry. They know the process in which, it makes or it takes to get a production from point A to point B. So it's not like the talent isn't here. It is. It's just, it's not as recognized yet.
So that really comes down to it in a nutshell, is that we have the talent, we have the crews, we have the experience that we need to do, but most of the time, we're a little bit more chill than other crews.
Absolutely.
I mean, we worked on a set not too long ago, and we had some LA cast members there, or crew members, pardon me, and half of them were awesome to work with. They were relaxed, they knew what they were doing, they were calm and collected. Another of them freak out. But you know what I found? That's the same everywhere. And it happens not only with the LA crews that come and experience Utah work ethic, but even in Utah. We have some fantastic crew members and cast members, but we have the same crew members here that'll freak out.
Yeah.
What do you think would be one of the things that could help these inexperienced crew members really hone their craft so they're a little bit more calm and collected on set, which makes the whole production go better? What do you think would be your bit of advice you would give them?
Well, going into filmmaking, you have to go in for the right reasons. You don't go in for the money, you don't go in for the fame, you go in for the passion.
Because there is no money or fame.
Not at all. I got a crappy car, crappy apartment, but I'm doing what I like to do. So that's what's important. But, again, just have fun with it. Make sure that you're there and you're serious, because it is a job. You have to get it done. But at the same time, make sure that your heart is really in it. You know, and I know that's very broad. It's a very broad piece of advice, but it really is the most important I've found.
I think you're absolutely right. If you're not doing it for the right reasons, and the right reason is you want to tell stories.
Exactly.
And it's something that you love to do. And if you would do it for free, then you're doing it for the right reasons. Now, if you happen to get money and you happen to get famous and all those other things, that's a perk. But ultimately, this has to be something that you live to do. Otherwise, you know, go be a lawyer. You can make a lot more money.
The 9/11 Memorial will honor my partner and the officers who responded that morning.
It's for my brother.
And my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
It's about hope for the future.
So we always remember September 11th.
For my husband who never came home.
And the first responders who saved my life.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
That we are united.
And that we are strong. Because the best of humanity can overcome the worst hate.
It's for all the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. To learn more or to reserve your visit, go to 911memorial.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I've been in circumstances in my life when I haven't had access to music, and that's been very difficult. But I remember everything I've heard, so I can play it back.
Hey guys, I want to show you something I got in the mail today, and I thought it was pretty cool because I'm giving it away as a contest award. So take a look at this. It's from Éditions Dédicaces. They're up here in Canada. They're the ones who are giving away all these cool books that are going out on our show too, including the Human Works and all sorts of good stuff. So be sure to watch more episodes because we're doing more contests, but this is the one I'm giving away today. And this is a size large. So this is one more for a smaller man than myself, or for a shapely woman. This is perfect for you. But let me tell you who's going to win this. If you know who was the lady from the Utah Woman in Film who came onto the episode today, well, you're going to win this t-shirt. It's that simple. All you have to do is go onto our official website at filmedinutah.com, send me a message, or go onto our Facebook page and do the same thing. First person to respond wins the t-shirt. You can come pick it up at our studio. Information on that is going to be on the details below or at our website, filmedinutah.com. Well, that's going to do it for me on this episode of Filmed in Utah. If you'd like any more information on the shows or the interviews that we were talking about today, be sure to go onto our website at filmedinutah.com. Now, be sure to take a look at us on September 3rd. We're going to be starting our second season at Adaptive Studios with Sound Speeding taking care of all of our sound. It's going to be fantastic. If you haven't been able to make it to the meetup that was earlier, then we are going to have another one of those coming up in about a month or two. So be sure, again, to take a look at our website or like us on Facebook, and you'll get all that information as it's coming out. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me for this episode of Filmed in Utah. And until next week, I'm Warren Workman. Keep filming, Utah.